Hey, Cowboys fans! Today we are diving into all the latest developments surrounding America's team. From player evaluations to potential draft strategies. And taking a close look at how this year's NFL draft could redefine the roster for the upcoming season. The excitement around the draft is always intense. And this year promises to be no different. With opportunities to address critical needs, add depth, and bring in young talent that can have an immediate impact. The NFL draft is a delicate balance of strategy, projection, and timing. And for the Cowboys, every decision carries weight, not just in the short term but in shaping the team for years to come. The conversation starts with some of the early predictions from prominent draft analysts. These projections offer a glimpse into possible scenarios. But the reality is that draft day is always unpredictable. The Cowboys are projected to make their first selection at number 12, a spot that presents both challenges and opportunities. Many fans have strong opinions about who should be targeted at this stage, and mock drafts spark debate because they highlight potential strategies, while leaving room for surprises. That can completely alter the board. The focus appears to be on strengthening the defensive backfield, enhancing the offensive line, and identifying versatile players who can contribute immediately. A theme that resonates throughout the early discussions. One player generating buzz is Colton Hood, a cornerback out of Tennessee. Hood is widely regarded as a potential starter from day one, a plug-and-play type of player who can bring both size and skill to the secondary. This makes him a compelling option for Dallas, particularly given the need to reinforce pass defense and create more stability in coverage. Fans are already debating whether he represents the perfect fit for the team's immediate requirements, or whether another position should take priority. The evaluation of Hood highlights a common theme in draft strategy: balancing talent, positional needs, and long-term potential. Selecting a player with starter-ready abilities may address current weaknesses, but the team must also consider how that player fits into the overall roster composition and future development plans. Alongside Hood, there are several other prospects worth monitoring closely. Edge rushers like Kendrick Falk from Auburn bring intriguing athleticism and upside. But concerns about consistency and production last season raise questions about immediate impact. Falk's profile demonstrates the type of decision-making that Cowboys management faces, weighing the ability to contribute now against the potential for development over time. This is particularly important when the team already has a mix of young pass rushers and defensive linemen, meaning any new addition must complement existing pieces rather than overlap redundantly. The calculus extends beyond individual players to how each selection influences the broader roster and strategy, ensuring that every pick is both thoughtful and opportunistic. Another layer of complexity involves the movement of other players in the early draft rounds. If top wide receivers or edge rushers are selected before Dallas makes their pick, the team may need to pivot strategically, whether that means trading down, adjusting priorities, or targeting a player with different attributes than initially planned. Mock drafts provide structure and insight, but real draft day is far more dynamic. Injuries, unexpected trades, and other teams' decisions can shift the landscape dramatically, requiring a flexible approach and the ability to act decisively in the moment. For Cowboys Nation, understanding these scenarios adds to the anticipation, as each choice could set the tone for the season and influence the team's direction for years to come. As the first round progresses, the ripple effect of early picks becomes evident. Players projected to go later in the round, such as safeties or versatile defensive backs, can alter the value of remaining prospects. The availability of top-tier talent at pick 12 or at any point during the first round influences the Cowboys' options and strategic decisions. This is where roster planning intersects with draft evaluation. Selecting a player is not simply about talent, but also about timing, need, and the interplay of available options. The potential to secure players who immediately strengthen the secondary, reinforce the defensive front, or provide offensive firepower is what makes draft strategy both challenging and fascinating. Mock drafts also spark debate about how the Cowboys should approach multiple first-round selections. Managing the picks in the early part of the draft requires balancing immediate contributions with long-term development. Colton Hood could address the cornerback need instantly, but attention must also be given to edge rushers, offensive playmakers, or other positions where depth and talent could be game-changing. Analysts often weigh the merits of plug-and-play starters against high-upside prospects, who may require time to develop. For Dallas, every decision carries higher stakes because the team is not in full rebuild mode. The margin for error is smaller, and maximizing the value of each pick is critical. Wide receivers remain a focal point in discussions around draft dynamics. Their selection or availability can dramatically alter the landscape for the Cowboys, influencing whether the team maintains its initial plan or pivots strategically. Having an elite receiver still on the board when pick 12 arrives can create opportunities to trade or take advantage of positional scarcity, affecting not just one pick but subsequent decisions throughout the draft. The strategic interplay between position needs and draft board movement is a reminder that the draft is as much about timing and foresight as it is about individual talent evaluations. Even as early projections like Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft provide a roadmap, reality rarely follows a strict script. Injuries, team decisions, and unexpected player evaluations can all change the trajectory of selections for the Cowboys. Maintaining flexibility while remaining focused on addressing key roster needs is essential. Hood at 12 represents one scenario, but alternative players like Brandon Cease or emerging edge rushers could also be valuable, each offering distinct skill sets and potential roles within the team. The goal is to enhance the roster both immediately and strategically, ensuring that each pick contributes to building a balanced and competitive team. The broader message from this early look at the draft is that the Cowboys are positioned to make impactful decisions, but success depends on careful planning and adaptability, prioritizing edge rushers, cornerbacks, and versatile secondary players reflects a strategy aimed at strengthening key areas, while also considering the long-term trajectory of the roster. Every selection conveys insight into the team's philosophy, ambitions, and approach to building sustained competitiveness. Fans can follow these discussions closely, knowing that each choice has implications not only for the upcoming season, but for the evolution of America's team over the coming years. Even with the first dozen picks still unfolding, the analysis highlights how interconnected every selection is. Players going off the board earlier than expected, whether wide receivers, defensive backs, or other positions, directly influence the Cowboys' available options. Managing the first-round picks requires a nuanced approach, balancing proven talent with potential upside. Selecting players who can contribute immediately without sacrificing future growth is the central challenge, and understanding this dynamic is key for fans seeking insight into the team's strategy. Mock drafts provide context, but the real drama and decision-making come alive on draft night, when each choice carries both immediate and long-term consequences. Ultimately, the early projections illustrate that the Cowboys are in a position to address crucial needs while remaining flexible. Hood and Falk, among other prospects, represent intriguing possibilities, but the evaluation process is ongoing as workouts, interviews, and additional analyses unfold. The team will refine its targets and adjust its strategy accordingly. For fans, following this process offers a unique perspective into roster construction, draft philosophy, and the challenges of building a competitive team in a constantly shifting landscape. The combination of talent assessment, positional needs, and strategic foresight makes this period one of the most exciting and complex moments for America's team each year. As we move deeper into the draft analysis, attention shifts to how the Cowboys can leverage their second first-round pick, which carries nearly as much significance as the initial selection. The first pick, projected to be Colton Hood, sets a foundation for the secondary, but the second pick presents the team with the chance to address another critical area of the roster, whether it's reinforcing the edge rush, adding depth to the defensive backfield, or introducing an offensive weapon capable of immediate contribution. This selection is a strategic opportunity. Every choice made at this stage has the potential to define the balance of the roster, influence defensive schemes, and impact offensive versatility, making each decision a matter of careful evaluation and foresight. One of the main names generating discussion around this pick is Kendrick Falk, an edge rusher from Auburn. Falk's combination of size, athleticism, and potential upside is what makes him so intriguing for Dallas. Standing 6'6" and weighing approximately 185 pounds, he has the physical attributes to consistently challenge opposing offenses. However, there are legitimate questions about his production last season, with fewer sacks and pressures compared to the previous campaign. Evaluating Falk involves determining how to integrate him into a defensive front that already has established interior rushers and edge players, ensuring his skills complement rather than overlap existing strengths. This is the kind of decision that illustrates the nuanced approach the Cowboys must take when building a roster capable of immediate competitiveness. Balancing immediate readiness with long-term potential is central to draft strategy. Falk represents a high-upside prospect who could become a cornerstone of the defensive line, but there is risk involved in investing in a player who may require development. Comparisons to other successful NFL pass rushers suggest he could rotate as a base end or slide inside on passing downs to maximize pressure. Yet the Cowboys must weigh these possibilities against the current composition of the roster, which already features a blend of experienced edge rushers and young talent ready to contribute. Each decision is a strategic puzzle, requiring consideration of positional depth, player fit, and the overall trajectory of the defense. Beyond Falk, there are several other players projected to be available in this portion of the draft who could influence Dallas choices. Names like My Lemon, Vega O, and Cassius Hall are emerging as prospects with the ability to impact both the defensive and offensive sides of the ball. The availability of top wide receivers continues to be a dynamic factor, as it affects how the Cowboys may prioritize other positions if elite receiving talent remains on the board. It could open opportunities to trade up or adjust strategy to acquire a player who can immediately influence the passing game. Conversely, if certain defensive prospects are selected earlier, Dallas may need to pivot and identify alternatives who offer comparable value while fitting seamlessly into the roster. Safety is another area of focus, with prospects like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren standing out due to their versatility and readiness to contribute. Warren's skill set offers the Cowboys flexibility in coverage schemes and the potential to integrate into multiple defensive packages, while Hood strengthens the cornerback position. Adding a talented safety could enable the coaching staff to implement more creative strategies, including varied zone coverage, blitz packages, and rotational schemes that maximize player strengths. Drafting for depth in the secondary is critical, especially considering the physical demands of the NFL and the need to maintain performance across a grueling season. Wide receiver availability continues to shape the strategic landscape. The Cowboys must monitor how other teams handle early selections, as the choice between a known commodity and a high-upside prospect can impact the team's offensive identity. A receiver who stretches the field, creates mismatches, and elevates quarterback performance provides significant leverage for the offense, influencing running lanes and overall efficiency. Observing which players remain on the board enables Dallas to make informed decisions, whether that involves targeting a specific position or capitalizing on an unexpected opportunity. The interplay between positional needs and draft board movements underscores how each selection influences subsequent choices. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Jerry Jones, the larger-than-life owner of the Dallas Cowboys, reportedly called an emergency meeting that has sent shockwaves through the NFL world. Sources close to the organization suggest that the infamous clutch owner is furious, and all eyes are now on offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer, whose position could be hanging by a thread. While the Cowboys have always had a high-octane offense on paper, insiders claim that Jones' patience has worn thin after what he perceives as a series of questionable play-calling decisions and missed opportunities. The tension appears to be palpable within the team's facilities, with some suggesting that even veteran players are feeling the heat from this internal turmoil. Schottenheimer, who has had a mixed track record in the NFL, reportedly finds himself under unprecedented scrutiny. The coordinator's offensive schemes, which at times have been praised for creativity, have also been criticized for lacking adaptability in high-stakes situations. Analysts speculate that Jones' dissatisfaction may stem not only from game results, but from what he sees as a failure to maximize the talent rostered on the team. The Cowboys' locker room, normally shielded from the front office drama, is rumored to be tense, with whispers that players are uncertain about the stability of the coaching staff. Adding fuel to the rumor mill, unnamed sources suggest that several high-profile figures within the franchise have been quietly weighing potential replacements for Schottenheimer, ranging from college coaching phenoms to seasoned NFL play callers. If Jones follows through with his aggressive reputation, a shakeup could be imminent, signaling one of the most dramatic coaching controversies the Cowboys have faced in recent years. While nothing is confirmed, the atmosphere around the franchise feels electric, as fans and commentators alike are bracing for the possibility of a bold move by one of the NFL's most notorious owners as the speculation continues to build. One thing seems certain: Brian Schottenheimer's future in Dallas is suddenly anything but secure. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.